Welcome to part 2 of the Portfolio Project. In this section, you will use information from part 1 to evaluate your financial situation. You will calculate your debt to income ratio, determine a recommended life insurance policy, and estimate retirement savings, and also calculate an emergency fund. Throughout this section, be sure to show all calculations and carefully answer the reflection questions using complete sentences. Your first task is to calculate your debt to income ratio, often called a DTI ratio. This ratio measures how much of your gross monthly income is used to pay debt each month. Lenders use this ratio when deciding whether someone qualifies for a mortgage, car loan, or other type of financing. According to the assignment instructions, financial experts recommend that this ratio should not exceed 43%. The goal of this section is to determine whether your current debt level is manageable based on your income. Before calculating your debt to income ratio, you need to identify all your monthly debt payments from your monthly expenses table 2 in part 1. Examples of debt payments may include mortgage or rent payments, car payments, student loan payments, and credit card payments. Don't include expenses such as groceries, utilities, entertainment, clothing, gasoline, or other regular living expenses because these are not considered debt for this calculation. Add all debt payments together to find your total monthly debt. Once you have determined your total monthly debt, locate your gross monthly income from Table 1 in Part 1. Use the formula debt to income ratio is equal to total monthly debt divided by gross monthly income. And after dividing, multiply the result by 100 to convert the decimal into a percentage. Remember to show each step of your work clearly. Other people reading your portfolio should be able to follow your calculations from beginning to end. So debt to income is equal to total monthly debt divided by gross monthly income times 100. For example, if your total monthly debt is $1,000 and your gross monthly income is 5,000, so you divide 1,000 by 5,000, you'll get 0.20. Convert this into a decimal, you will get 20%. After calculating your debt to income ratio, you're going to compare your result to the recommended maximum of 43%. The assignment asks you to describe how your ratio compares to the recommendation. Think about whether your percentage indicates a healthy balance between debt and income. You should also discuss whether any changes may be needed. If changes are needed, explain specific actions that could improve your ratio. Remember that this section is asking for your analysis. Do not simply restate the number. Explain what the number means. On part 2B, you're going to calculate a recommended life insurance policy amount. According to the assignment instructions, a common recommendation is to have a life insurance coverage equal to 10 times your annual income. Locate your annual income salary or annual salary from Table 1 in Part 1 and multiply it by 10. Show your complete calculation and make sure your final answer is clearly labeled. So for example, if your annual income is 65,000, the recommended coverage is equal to 10 times of that. So 10 times 65,000 would be around 650,000. Your recommended life insurance is 650,000. Okay. After calculating the life insurance amount, the assignment asks you to answer two discussion questions. First, research what a dependent is. Answer your questions in 3 to 4 sentences. And then, second, explain why someone who is younger and has dependents may have different life insurance needs than someone who is older and has a few or no dependents. Your response should be 3 to 4 complete sentences. Be sure to fully answer both questions and explain your reasoning. This section requires your own explanation, not just a definition. The next task in Part 2C focuses on retirement savings. Locate the amount you budgeted for retirement savings in Part 1, Table 2. Use that monthly savings amount to estimate how much money could be accumulated by age 65 and again by age 70. Begin by calculating how much is saved each year. Then, determine how many years remain until age 65 and age 70. Follow the directions provided in the assignment and show all calculations. So focus on the retirement savings. For example, if your monthly savings is $500, multiply that by 12 to get a yearly savings of $6,000. Then you will need to calculate how many years from now you will turn 65 and how many years you'll turn 30. And then calculate the total savings for those ages. Once your calculations are complete, the assignment asks you to evaluate the results. Consider whether the projected savings amount seems sufficient for retirement. If you believe additional savings may be needed, discuss specific actions that could increase retirement savings. The goal of this section is to demonstrate critical thinking and explain your conclusions based on your calculation. Ask yourself, is my projected retirement savings enough? What lifestyle do I want in retirement? What can I do now to increase my future savings? Evaluate, reflect, plan, prepare for the future. The final calculation in Part 2 involves an emergency fund. This is in Part 2D. Financial experts commonly recommend having enough savings to cover 6 months of expenses. To calculate your emergency fund goal, determine your monthly expenses and multiply that amount by 6. Be sure to show the complete calculation and clearly identify your final answer. Now remember, for your monthly expenses, the most common mistake is that students use the entire take-home salary for monthly expenses. And remember to find your monthly expenses by subtracting your total savings first. So monthly expenses after subtracting your total savings, that's the one multiplied by 6 to get your emergency fund. For example, if your take-home pay is 4,000 and your total monthly savings is 800, after savings. So monthly expenses will be 3,200. Multiply that by 6, that would be 19,200. We do not use the whole take home pay. We use only what you spend each month after savings. Okay? And after calculating the emergency fund goal, determine how long will it take to save that amount. Locate the amount budgeted each month for your emergency fund in Part 1, Table 2. And then we're going to divide the emergency fund goal by your monthly emergency savings. So this savings is specific, very specific for emergency fund. And then after completing the calculation, think about what the result means. Does this amount of time seem reasonable? So, for example, if your emergency fund goal is 15,000 and your monthly savings for emergency, very specific for emergency, is $500. So, following the formula, the emergency fund goal is equal to, the time to save this amount is equal to the emergency fund goal divided by the monthly savings for emergency. So calculation would be 15,000 divided by 500. That would be 30 months. So it will take 30 months to save the emergency fund, the 15,000 emergency fund. Okay, so support your conclusions using the calculation you completed. So this assignment is asking you to evaluate your result and explain what they suggest about your current savings plan. So, in part two, you're going to calculate a debt to income ratio, determine a recommended life insurance policy amount, estimate retirement savings, and calculate emergency fund. Each calculation is designed to help you evaluate financial health and future financial preparedness. So, remember, before submitting your project, double check that all calculations are shown, all questions are answered completely, and all reflection responses are written in complete sentences. Following the instructions carefully will help ensure that all requirements for Part 2 have been completed. So, understanding your debt and expenses is essential for financial stability. Remember to use formulas to evaluate your financial health. We are planning ahead by saving for retirement and building an emergency fund. Review your results and set goals for improvement. This assignment will be submitted under Module 4 in Blackboard. Okay?